Hello, everyone. This is Shanae Woodson. Sorry for the delay. But we are here. Tonight we are here on Valentine's Day. Some of you celebrate it, some of you don't. But all in all, this is the day that is set aside for those who want to just give something to their significant other, their bae, their boo, their husband, their wife, whatever, their significant other, and just have a good time and express their love. However, there are people out there tonight who might not have get that flower, who might not be getting that teddy bear, may not have that special dinner being prepared, because guess what, they might be hurting. All right. And we are going to talk about that tonight. Before I bring on my guests, I want to give you all time to share, invite people tonight, because we are going to talk about something that's rarely talked about, especially amongst Christians. Yes, amongst Christians. However, do not let that deter you from watching this. This is not just for Christians, okay? I just made that to say that. However, I want you all to take this time to share while we watch this video clip, and then I'm going to bring my special guest on. And she's not really, I wouldn't say a special guest, because both of us are going to talk about this. We're going to have a chat, and we're going to let you all interact with us as well. But just watch this clip. And once I bring her on, we're going to get the ball rolling, and we are going to have a good time tonight. This is going to be a night of healing, breakthrough, deliverance. We're going to be very open and transparent, because her and I both believe being transparent is the first step to healing. Okay. So we're going to watch this clip, and then I will be right back to introduce my new friend, and then we're going to go from there. All right.
Lord.
Do Ye have heard that it hath been said, an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth. But I say unto you that ye resist not evil. For whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek,
Master, this woman was taken in adultery, in the very act. Now Moses, in the law, commanded us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou? What sayest thou?
he that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her. Woman, where are those thine accusers? Hath no man condemned thee?
kind of man, Lord.
Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more.
Wow, wow, wow. How many know that story of Mary Magdalene when she was brought before Jesus and he drew the line in the sand and said, what? Somebody please put it in chat. Oh, hey, Auntie. God bless you, Shanae. Happy Valentine's. Yes, happy Valentine's Day to you too. My Auntie Sheila is on. But how many remember that story? I know I remember that. And that story is very true to a lot of us out there. Even if you're speaking up like myself and the guest that I'm about to bring up, or if you've been living in silence, that story I'm sure can relate to you on both spectrums, because Jesus, at the end of the day, no matter what we do, he's going to draw the line in the sand and say, where are your accusers? Where are your accusers? Who can throw the stone? And I'm so glad we serve a God like that, that forgives us. And no matter what we do, he's going to ask, who is going to accuse you? Who has the right to accuse you no matter what you've done? So I'm going to bring on this lovely woman. Before I bring her on, let me tell you how this happened. I was scrolling through, minding my business, scroll on Instagram, and we've already followed her. I've been following her for quite a while, and I've always look at her content. But this particular time, she posted this this article of her in Essence Magazine. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. And when I saw the title, it just jumped out at me. I said, wait a minute. Someone been through something I've experienced. There's not many people that are very transparent about the fact that they cheated. Let's just be real. I mean, really, let's just be real. And when I saw that, especially on top of that, it's a woman saying it, I said, hold up. I went to her right away, contacted her, and she's going to come on and she'll tell you I am not fibbing whatsoever. I went to her right away and said, hey, I saw your post and we got to do something. I said, we have to do something. I don't know when it's going to happen, but here's my number. Let's go for it. And we had a beautiful conversation on the phone and realized our stories are similar, different, but very similar. And she agreed to do it. And I am so excited because she is like me. However, her transparency has helped so many other people. She is an infidelity coach. She helps other people get through infidelity. She's also a talk show host in media. We have so many things in common. And she speaks on different platforms, a phenomenal woman of God. And I just excited of what else this connection is going to bring. This is not the first time. I see me and her doing so many more things together because there's so many things that I know her and I can relate to and help other women, not just women, but men too, as well. So I'm going to bring her on. Her name is, you know what? I'm just going to call, she's Trey tonight to me, but I am not like some other people. I don't want to give a long bio because I like people to introduce themselves because I feel like I don't do people justice. So I'd rather her introduce herself, give herself her kudos, encourage herself, pat herself on the back. And I'm going to bring Trey on. Hello, Trey. Isn't she beautiful? She like my cousin.
Hello, girl. How you doing?
How are you? How are you? So please share with everyone who you are, those who do not know you. We have a lot of mutual friends, so I'm sure people know you, but for those who do not.
I am Trey Kearney. I am a certified life and relationship coach. I specialize in helping men, women, and families heal from the devastation of infidelity. I have a movement called #NoSideChicken, where I encourage women to honor, guard, and respect each other's relationships in hopes of ending the infidelity epidemic because it starts with us. If men cheat and they didn't have anybody to cheat with, we could stop this infidelity epidemic. I have a book out called This Healing Time, Restoring Hope in Women After Infidelity. I also have a book out, It's Healing Time, Men Hurt Too, because on my journey, I learned that 3 people are involved in the breakdown of most relationships. It is the wife, the side chick, and the husband, and everybody is hurt in the process. So I wrote my book, Men Hurt Too, because I'm a boy mom. And I love Black men. And I think that Black men get a bad rap based on the fact that we don't understand that they've been through devastating trauma as well. So they just not going out here cheating on us for no reason. They've been through things. And I am referred to as a healing agent. I am not Jesus the Christ. I am not God. I will not heal you. But I believe the Lord put me in a position to be a healing agent. God is the healer. I am the neosporin. Okay. I am the agent. I don't heal people. I can't heal you, but I can give you what God gave to me to bring you to a place of wholeness and healing.
I love that. Besides you being a boy mom,
Yes.
what else aided you to go this route? Because you didn't have to.
No, right. I went this route because I committed adultery. Committing adultery is what got me here. I cheated on my husband maybe about 14, no, longer than that. I was 22. He was probably about 22 years ago, 23 years ago. And it turned our families upside down. It turned my family upside down, my ex-husband's family upside down, the man I was with, his family upside down, and his wife's family upside down. Because I was married and I was having an affair with a married man. So I started out thinking I was going to, when the married man that I cheated on my husband would cheated on me, which, you know, you reap what you sow. It's all biblical. But when he cheated on me, I was so angry, so hurt, so crushed. I was going to write a book and do a show called Love Square. I was going to make a movie and I was going to just expose everybody.
Whoa.
Hit hours. It was a love square that we were in. It wasn't a triangle. It was square. It was 2 married couples that got devastated by the devastation of infidelity. And the Lord said, no, you're not going to write that. You're going to write It's Healing Time, Restoring Hope in Women After Infidelity, and go somewhere and sit yourself down. Talk about some love square. What you think this is? Love and hip hop? So I said, okay, Jesus, I'm going to do what you tell me to do. So I started speaking on my platform on Periscope. Just got up one day and I said, good morning. You know, I started talking and women started coming in. And I started talking about how I had committed adultery. And at first they thought it happened to me. And then when they found out I was the one that committed adultery, I was the side chick. The wives were intrigued and they wanted to ask me questions about why would you do that? Or why would this happen? So they became friends of mine. And I was helping them heal to say why this happened. It had nothing to do with them. But that was the journey. What devastated me most was the trickle down that it had on all of our families. It just didn't affect me and the man that I cheated with, or me and the man that I cheated with and his wife and my husband. It affected our whole generations. It affected my family that loved my ex-husband. It affected my ex-husband's family that loved me. I was auntie. I was sister-in-law. Loved me. It was no hate from either end. And from his side, his wife's father, he was the son that his wife's father never had. And it tore all of us apart. And I just felt like God did not let me go through this in vain. And the only way that I would go through it in vain is if I didn't share. So that's why I'm sitting here today. And, you know, I've helped families restore their lives. People stay together after infidelity if they get the proper help. So my thing was, I never, ever want to see anybody go through this when we have a choice. If we only knew what we know now, if we only had somebody that had a platform talking about infidelity, don't do it, girl, don't do it. Thinking it, maybe we would have pumped our brakes. So I said, I need to say this out loud. So maybe somebody will pump their brakes.
Amen. I love that. But I just want to now, because I see more people jumping on, and I want to talk about how this whole thing with men are dogs is based on, and how we shun the fact that, you know, women, we got some things too. And why men are getting such a bad rap when it comes to that, because it's getting out of control. And I'm seeing more and more women not saying nothing, and I don't know. It's just like we don't say nothing to the women when it happens, or if we do, it still points back to, well, it was the man. And why do you think that is?
I think we've been taught to give women grace and mercy. I think we've been programmed to think that women are supposed to be excused because they've had trauma. You know, women are emotional creatures, so they did it out of emotion. Or, you know, he had, you know, the man had to do something. If he was doing his job, then this woman wouldn't have had a reason to go and sneak out. He must not have been providing or protecting. No, women are immature. And people ask me all the time, you know, why do people cheat? Because all people cheat because they're immature. And then they have their reasons to wrap that immaturity with a bow. Like, oh, well, he wasn't buying me gifts or he wasn't sleeping with me. But that's just an excuse. But every person that ever cheated on this planet was immature in an area of their life, whether they didn't know how to communicate, whether they just had an addiction or something. But we have been taught and programmed in society to give women grace and mercy and to crush a man's balls.
I'm sorry, y'all. We're gonna talk very real tonight. So if you're not ready, you might want to back up a little bit, because we are going to talk very real tonight. I wanted this because I feel like if we're not being transparent, if we're not being real, you're not going to get it. Okay.
Right. And the reason why I stopped crushing men's balls, excuse me, that's the best way we could put it.
That's the best way you can put it.
Because I have 3 sons. And as I went on a journey of raising them, and I saw from the inside out, from the inside, I was not a man, but I was watching from the inside, from the outside, in the inside. And I'm like, that's how men get, like, no, you're not going to do that to my son. Right? And, you know, he had his first breakup. My oldest son had his first breakup. Girl, I wanted to go fight the mama. I wanted to go fight the daughter. My son was crying. I want to go fight everybody because she was talking crazy. The mother was. And I said, she been disrespecting my son. And I had to take a step back and say, wow, you disrespect somebody's son. Oh, like you disrespected your husband. That's somebody's son. That's somebody's brother. Somebody love that man and you disrespected him, but you don't want nobody to do it to your people. You don't want somebody to do it to your son. You don't want your brother's wife to do it to him. You don't want your uncle's wife or girl, but you doing it to people. How dare you, Trey? So it made me sit back like, oh, okay. So we all got to take a step back and remember that your husband is somebody's son. Her husband, boyfriend, boo, or bae is somebody's brother. Somebody love that man too and don't want you talking all crazy to him. And that's when I wrote my book. And the first thing that I say in my book is men are human beings first, because that is what my sons taught me. I bleed blood. I cry. A woman break up with me. I cry. I fall down and bust my knee, break my leg. It hurts. So the major thing that I learned from raising my sons is that everybody is a human being first. And as soon as the doctors say it's a boy, we put all these expectations on males, and they're no longer human beings, they're males. And they have to go into this world and they have to figure it out. Or I better be a protector, I better be a provider, I better not cry, I better not show any weakness, I better not be vulnerable. And then when they get in relationships, we just like, why you don't express yourself?
I love it. Yeah. And before we move, I do want to acknowledge some folk in chat. Sharice, how are you? She has a lot to say. She got yes, amen, right, crush their balls. My auntie's still on. Sarah Grace, how are you, woman of God? Yvonne, Queen Yvonne, my cuz, how are you? She said, hey, Shanae. Oh, I got a lot to say. Everyone, when we are through, we are going to have a moment where we're going to let you have something to say online. Okay, you're going to put some stuff in chat and we're going to show it. If you have any questions, comments, this is going to be a very interactive live today. Okay, so we want you to say something and put stuff in there. Okay, but after we share some things with you, so keep those thoughts together, and we're going to let you do that. I definitely got Sarah, and I see some other people on as well, so I will acknowledge you in a few again. However, I'm going to switch gears just a tad bit, because I know some of you like, Shanae, why did you decide to do something like this? Well, those of you who don't know my story, guess what? Yeah, I cheated before. And if you're thinking it's, for those of you who know my ex-husband, no, it was not him. Okay, so please do not. Oh my goodness, it was Mr. No, it wasn't. Those who do not know, I was actually married before. Shock! No, Shanae's not perfect. Oh my goodness, she's not. I'm far from it. I'm far from it. Yes, I was married before, and that was one of the main reasons why we divorced. He was military, and my hot tail couldn't wait until he came back. And I ended up going to a party. I was a party animal, not animal. I'm not gonna say I was animal, but I liked the party. I was having a little fun. Went out, met this guy, and yeah, cheated on him. And let me tell you, the thing that I did that I will never forget is when I was in the act. Do you know I looked at our picture on the wall and looked at the picture and said, "I'm sorry." I literally looked at the picture and said, "I'm so sorry," and continued doing what I was doing. I will never forget that moment because it was like at that moment I could have stopped. Yes, Sharice, I could have stopped, but because of my flesh, because of selfishness, because I figured, hey, he's gone, he'll never find out. Like she said, immaturity. I was 23 years old, new bride. As soon as I got married, he went straight to Kuwait. And I was in this apartment by myself, and it was just crazy. And I was telling Trey, I don't know if she remember me telling her this, that it was the way it happened was so weird because it was 11 months until this happened. Do you know the very next month he came back home? One more month. One more month he came home. And I will never, ever forget the look on his face, like, one more month. One more month. You couldn't give me a year, a whole year, 12 months. And I just cried. And the roller coaster ride that we went through 5 years after, we stayed together for 5 years. After he tried to forgive me, there was a lot of things that went down, but I vowed every day that I would never, ever do that to a man ever again. I saw this man literally go down a spiral just downhill. And I did talk to him about this live, so he knows that I'm talking about him in the whole situation. So he knows this is going on. He said, "I'm just nervous what you're gonna say," but he knows that I'm talking about this. But I honestly can say that we are actually really good friends now. We're pretty cool. But forgiveness definitely had to take place after 12 years of just back and forth, and us both remarrying, and then we ended up seeing each other again like probably a year and a half ago, of course, through Facebook. And we had a long talk, and he said we were both immature back then. He finally said we were both immature back then. I don't think I should have left you so fast. We were both young. It's so much stuff happening. So yes, and forgive. Let me put that up. Forgiveness. And that's what I want to talk to you about, Trey, is the power of forgiveness through all this. Because some people say, once a cheat, always a cheat. Okay. But where does the forgiveness take place when we say stuff like that and put it in the atmosphere? Because it's almost like you're speaking those things. And we're talking a lot about manifestation a lot. So if you're speaking that once a cheat, always a cheat, you're already speaking that out there that, hey, it's going to happen again. So where do we find the forgiveness in something like that? Because I've heard people say a lot of times, I can forgive a lot of things, but if somebody cheat on me, that's it. I've heard that a lot. And
until they get in a situation. I've heard people say that all the time because they thought they wasn't in a situation. Like they actually was in a situation, and they actually ended up staying with their man. I thought you said that if he did. You want to forgive it? You still want to be because you love them. Oh, people make mistakes now.
Yeah.
The forgiveness starts with that once a cheat, always a cheat. I always say this, like we saw the clip before, and Jesus said, he who was without sin cast the first stone. Any person on here that says once a cheat, always a cheat, whatever that thing is that you did, once a thief, always a thief, once a liar, always a liar, once a murderer, always a murderer, once a drug addict, always a drug addict, once a whatever, always a whatever. So if you're going to say that about once a cheat, always a cheat, you have to turn that mirror around on yourself to say once or whatever I've done, always. and we grow daily. I'm not the same person I was yesterday, right? When me committing adultery that many years ago, do you know how much stuff I learned along my journey over the last 15 years of my life? I'm not even the same person. I don't even know myself. I don't even know myself. You know what I'm saying? So the biggest thing is the first thing is we must forgive ourselves. Because any type of forgiveness begins with forgiving yourself. If you harbor animosity for yourself, or if you harbor feelings of what if and how come about anything, and you can't forgive yourself for forgiving yourself for what you didn't know. If you're the person that got cheated on, right? Just forgive yourself for what you didn't know. Forgive yourself for blaming yourself. Forgive yourself for just talking to the wrong people. And then for the person who committed adultery, like you and myself, the worst thing about me committing adultery, it wasn't, and my ex who I cheated with, we have a child together. Wasn't that it was bad that he cheated on me, but what hurt me the most was the pain that I caused my ex-husband and his ex-wife. I was in a prison of guilt for a long time, because when my ex cheated on me, the man that I cheated on my husband with, when he cheated on me, the pain that I felt from that, right? I was so hurt. Like, he pierced my soul. Like, I left my man for you, and I'm here, and you cheat on me, and the shame, the embarrassment, why would you do this to me? The insecurities that kicked in. What hit me the hardest was, I said, oh my God, you left two people like this. You did this to two people, and it hurt me so bad. It was mornings that I could not get up because the guilt. I was like, oh my, they had to, lie to their families. They had to hide from their families. They didn't want to go to the family function. They didn't know what to tell their parents. They was making stuff up. They was embarrassed. They felt insecure. They didn't know what had happened. So I felt so bad about that. So the first thing I'm encouraging anybody to do that has committed adultery or ever cheated on anybody, forgive yourself for being immature. Forgive yourself for the pain that you've caused somebody else, right? And then if you need to, and maybe these people are not ready to forgive you yet, but you can apologize for what you've done to anybody. If they forgive you, once the apology goes, that's on them. And one of the, before you forgive yourself, just ask God for forgiveness, because that sets the platform for everything. Because we know that God is a forgiving God, and He forgives us immediately. The problem is we don't forgive ourselves. The next problem is the people that we offended don't forgive you or themselves. So it's just a devastating trickle down. And people have this model of, I'm going to forgive, but I'm not going to forget. For those people who are listening right now that say, I'm going to forgive, but I'm not going to forget. When my ex cheated on me, I had to get to a point where I forgave and forgot. Like, I had to stop thinking about it because it was killing me. It wasn't hurting him that I remember the discrepancies every day when I was trying to think of the color of the girl's hair, or what her eyes looked like, or that day, or was he really at work? It wasn't hurting him, me not forgetting. It was hurting me. And God says it in the Bible. I'm not sure what scripture it is, but He says, even I forget. Good. I cast it into the sea of forgetfulness. Because what good is it doing me remembering your offense every day? So people that say forgive and not forget, and they like, well, we got a mind or a brain, so how can we forget? The less you think about something, the more it fades away. Like me and my ex that I cheated with, we have our son together who's 12 on autism spectrum. So we've gotten to a place of healing. And when we talked, he asked me, he said, listen, I want to give you an opportunity to ask me anything, right? I know I did some horrible things to you. If there's anything you want to ask me. And this is like 8 years ago, 8 years later, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, damn, there was so much stuff that I wanted to ask him. And now I can't even remember what happened because I decided to forget about it. I can't even remember the chicks' names. He's like, you can ask me anything. And I'm just like, dag, if only I had wrote that down. But it wasn't even important. And like you, me and my ex-husband, we're very good friends. We co-parented through this whole thing. And I'm going to tell you this, the reason why we were able to get through this in a place of almost peace for him, because he know Jesus. He was raised knowing Jesus, like knowing Jesus. I got a personal relationship with Jesus Christ now, but he had a personal relationship with Jesus Christ many years ago. So he was able to forgive me when I was with the man, right? So come on, Jesus. He was able to be able to co-parent with me when I was living with this man, when I had sons in the house with this man, when it was against everything that was in his mind, body, and spirit. He did not let me fall one time. He made sure his sons lived in a decent neighborhood. He made sure they had everything that they ever wanted from the day I walked out of that house. Check it. Didn't have to go to court. He's a man of God. He was raised that you take care of your children. His father raised him. I don't care about that girl. Them kids. So we have to understand the people who are in our lives and in our space. When we go through these things, if a person don't know Jesus, they don't know nothing about no forgiveness. That man said, "I forgive you, Trey." And we had moments. Don't trust me. We all human. But for the most part, we were able to forgive each other. And then on the journey, after I had my son, who is the son of the man that I had the affair with, we really just blended. And he did just as much as that for my youngest son as he did for my oldest.
Wow. That is so powerful. And that's why I wanted you on here, because I love your transparency and to even talk about the forgiveness piece, because that is a huge part of it. And I think that's what a lot of people have a hard time with, because a lot of times when, the other person the person that cheated, they probably moved on.
Yes.
And we're still, talking about the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and
girl,
all bitter and
got a whole family.
and even when it comes to wanting to quote unquote, I'm not even gonna love again, and I'm not gonna do this again because of what happened, or putting that on the next person because of what happened to you. Those things come into play. So that's why I said forgiveness is a huge piece in all this, because I even know when it happened to me, because like you said, you reap what you sow. And next thing I know, I ended up with someone else, and they ended up doing that to me. And I said, wow, that reap what you sow thing real. and when I felt what my ex felt, I was like, okay. But what my situation is, I thought, and I'm not gonna put the person out there, but I actually thought that this person, it's like I knew they were cheating, but I thought that it was another woman. But come to find out, I was the mistress.
What? See?
I didn't find out until later on, until I got a phone call and saying, well, did you know the whole time they were engaged? They were what? I was like, I knew it was something, but I thought like I was, number one, but it was other people. But come to find out, no, it was someone else they were engaged to, but I was the side. So they played it off so well, because they had a whole nother apartment and everything. And I was just in shock, like, what in the world? And it made me really realize like how, the selfishness that's involved with all of this at the same time. Like, and the person even told me, said, and after I confronted them and told me, well, you act like you knew to this. Because they knew what my past was, because I confided, but I told them about my past, and I was like, wow, he's throwing it up in my face. That was his justification of what to do. Like, well, you did it, so what you getting at me for? And at that moment I could not say anything, because I did cheat before, but at the same time, like, but yeah, but you had me. I did that one time. I felt not just guilty, but at the same time I was like, at least I said something. I had to open my mouth and say something, but you let me on for almost 6 months thinking, fussing at you and all this other stuff. So it just made me see the degree of what people will go through to cheat.
Yes.
Not on both ends, whether you're the male or the female.
Yes.
So it really opened my eyes on both spectrums of cheating, adultery. Like I said, when I found out, because he even went to the point of, it was an incident when the woman found out about me, that she like tore his car up, keyed his car, and he told me that some little boys keyed his car up.
Wow.
I don't see boys doing stuff like that. That's more like stuff women do. Well, you don't believe me? Fine, don't believe me then. I was like, oh, okay. And I thought about it, like, nah, don't make some women key cars. Yeah. Men don't do stuff like that. But it was like a huge lesson of reaping and sowing. Like, you even though you asked for forgiveness, and you got that forgiveness from me and from the other party. Like, it was still some repercussions. It was still something that had to happen to open up your eyes. And I said, okay, God, I get it. I'm never going to hurt nobody like that ever again.
Right.
So it really opened my eyes with that. But I want to switch gears just a little bit because I know some people in chat wanted to say something. So if you had any comments or any questions, please right now do so, because I do not want to miss some things that you all are saying. I know Yvonne is my love, my heart, my cousin from Cali. And I heard, as soon as she came on, I saw that she said, I have a lot to say. So if you have something to say, please put it in chat, Yvonne. I know Sharice has some things she said she wanted to bring up, some questions, especially any questions. We are here for that. Even if you want to talk to us private, we will put our information later on. Trey, as she mentioned earlier, she is a coach with this. She will help. She helps people. She helps families get through this. If you are experiencing any type of infidelity in your household and you want to get through this, give her a call, okay? And I will put her information more in chat. I see from Ray. Hey, Ray. He put, once a cheater, always a cheater is so cliche. It is too general and doesn't apply to everyone. We're all individuals, and God and experiences changes hearts, period. Yeah, God can change your heart. And I honestly can say that because even now, I have no desire to cheat. There's no desire whatsoever. There's opportunities to do so. Like when I was with my second husband, somebody could look at me. I'm like, no, the ring, baby, I'm good. So I was good. And I know some people do catch your eye. We're still human, but there was no desire to, like, I told myself, I will never let a man feel that again. I never want to hurt a man like that ever again. I mean, they may have to deal with my attitude or, those other things about me, but they will never have to worry about me hurting them to the point now. And he don't mind me saying this. Like I said, I did talk to him. My first husband, he was on suicide watch while he was in Kuwait. After I told him, he was on suicide watch because women, I don't know if y'all know that some things that we can handle, men can't.
Right. And we can't. Women be on suicide watch. A lot of people don't know that. Women be on some real depressed, and I speak about this too because this is very important for what's going on with Wendy Williams, right? I don't think people realize that Wendy is dying from a broken heart. And we can say thyroid and Graves' disease, and I believe those things are going on in her life. But Wendy is dying from a broken heart because her husband cheated on her and she has not gotten a proper care mentally for what that did to her. And I understand how she feels. And I understand how some women never bounce back from that. She was with this man for many, many years. They built an empire together. And you totally disrespect me. And when you tell me this woman that I'm accusing you of, you don't have to worry about it, to only end up with her, to have a child in front of the whole world when you know what I do and that everybody is ripping me apart. This is devastating to her psyche, and people are realizing that, and they are saying, oh, see, you reap what you sow. See, there's a difference between reaping and sowing from a job that you're doing. Watch Wendy for years do a good. We all watch Wendy because Wendy does a good job. That is her job and her purpose, right? And I tell people this, I've just started telling people this. A lot of people talk about, I'm looking for my purpose. Your purpose is to serve the people that God assigned to you through your gifts and your talents. Purpose is to serve the people that God assigned to you through your gifts and your talents. Wendy has done a good job through her gifts and her talents that God gave her, that voice, that those skills to be one of the best interviewers, one of the best talk show hosts. All her facts have been checked. She's always told the truth about people. Unfortunately, Howard Stern could get away with it, but Wendy can't. She just did her job well. She's reaping what she's sowing. No, because your job is not to report on Wendy's misery. I'm sorry, that's just not my job. That's just not my job. That's why I was to report on celebrities and what's going on. That's what they hired her for. That's what her God-given gift is, to report on celebrities like so many other people are doing. So we want to say you reap what you sow. She's not reaping what she's sowing for doing a good job. The world is cruel. Y'all out there dirty in the streets because y'all doing dirt, and because somebody's reporting it. If you wasn't doing it, nobody would be able to report it, right? So everything that we've ever done, there will be consequences to our actions. That's why we choose differently now, right? Me and you, we choose. I'll never cheat on another man. People never say never. I could say never. I know the devastation that caused. I wouldn't want nobody to do it to me. I am way beyond maturity in my year. I'm 52 years old. I know way more than I knew when I cheated 15 years ago. I know way more, okay? I didn't know how to communicate effectively with my husband. One.
Yep, that's it. The communication piece.
And I got married, and you did too. I got married when I was 21 years old. Right? I didn't know who I was. I had never saw a healthy marriage. And check it. I'm never giving an excuse. I'm accountable for the fact that I cheated on my husband. I'm accountable that I committed adultery and I took my children out of my home. We went down a long, dark stretch of just confusion and mental anguish, but I'm back, right? I'm accountable for that, but I got married, and this is what people need to hear too. If you've never seen a healthy marriage, you're not ready to get married. If you are at a young age and you don't know how to communicate, you don't know how to budget, you're not good with finances, if you're not good with cleaning a home, these are all things that are going to show up in your marriage that's going to leave a crack in the door for deception, for cheating. So we must know that people ain't just going around cheating. I came from a very dysfunctional background, right? So cheating was regular in my family. I don't know about the rest of the Black people on here, but I'm from the hood, and my uncles came to the house with different women all the time, okay? And I thought that was normal. My mother left my father, and they broke up because my mother committed adultery. So why wouldn't I think that the blueprint was right? Until I got around healthy people, and I got a coach, a life coach, to ask me some real questions about myself. I'm like, oh, guess what? Guess what I learned about myself from my life coach? And I have a program now. I ain't had no life skills. Don't know about no creative thinking. And we talk about, when people think about life skills, they think about your kids should know how to cook and clean for themselves. No, life skills are resilience. Life skills are communication. Life skills are creative thinking and critical thinking. Life skills, there's a whole different level of life skills out here that a lot of us don't have because our parents weren't able to teach us because they were dysfunctional. So why would we not have it? How would you have a healthy relationship with a man, a woman, your children, if you never saw a healthy relationship in your life? Dysfunction is normal. Until I learned that dysfunction was not normal, when people would say something to me like, why are you doing that? I'm like, you don't?
That's not normal.
My ex-husband, and let me say this and I'll let you talk, but my ex-husband came from a very structured family. His mother and father were married till death did them part. They had 13 children. They lived in the project. His father was a butcher. He was the breadwinner. He was the protector. His mother was very nurturing. I never saw his mother drink. My mother drank. My aunties drank. They did drugs. They partied. They smoked cigarettes. Drank Johnny Walker Red. So me and my cousin, we bowed it, right? So when me and him got together, and we had a pool because we was doing well. We got a pool, so I had people in the pool all the time. He come home from work like, "Yo, Trey, what's up? Like, this not normal." I'm like, "We got a pool. What is you talking about?" He's like, "It's not the community pool." I'm like, "This our family." He like, "Yo, you gotta do better." But for me, all I had was noise in my life. So I'm looking at him like, you're crazy to think that calm. Now at 52, you better not make no noise in my house. We should have when I was 52, girl, we would be going strong. Or when I was 47, 45. But in the state of mind that I was in when I got married to him, quiet, no drinking. Your mother was like, your mother don't drink. He was like, he's like, my mom will take a sip of wine every day. Sip of wine? His mother didn't drive. His dad drove her around. Like, what's wrong with that? But then as I grew older and things went on, I said, oh, when he used to say to my son, you need to sit at the table and eat your food. We need to sit down at dinner. And I was like, and my son would cry, my oldest, at 7 years old. I like, let him go in his room. He was like, no, we need to sit at the table. If I knew what I knew now, we would have sat at that table.
Wow.
Because I'm like, leave him alone. Because I ate in my room when we had food. Somehow we had no food. But I ate in my room, and I'm like, why don't you just leave him alone? Like, you're doing too much. Because he had structure. They sat down at the table as a family and ate. Then the boys went and talked in the living room about future plans, and the girls cleaned up the kitchen and washed the dishes and helped their mom cook. I ain't never seen no Cosby show, nothing in my life. So me cheating? Oh, that was normal. What? You want something, girl? Go get it. Get it.
Wow. And I was on the opposite end. And let me say some stuff in chat. Let me put back up Mr. James Johnson. Marriage skills are so important on both sides. He said, wow. And my cousin's on here. My big cousin Shadana is in the building. I'm sorry. I don't mean to shout her out as a special shout out, but I love my family. We have to learn not only to ask God for forgiveness, forgiving the mate that hurt you, but learn to forgive yourself for the not so good choices you've made. Good. Yes. But back to when you was talking about the home. And I'm the opposite. I grew up, even though my biological father wasn't in my life all the time. My mom and my stepdad, I saw them together all the time in ministry, everything. So I had the 2-parent home, and I was the kid that was always in church. I was the youth leader. I played the piano for my church. I sung on the praise team and all this stuff. So when I met my ex, he saw this, Christian girl that was trying to wait till she got, trying to hold off to marriage, even though that didn't work. But anyway, so when I did what I did, it devastated him. Because he saw me and my family as these Christians that didn't know wrong. So when I did that, it was like, oh, hypocrites.
Right.
Oh, they don't love, they just like everybody else. It was like, I represented every Christian out there, that all the stereotypes when I did what I did. And that part is what really hurt me too. It's like that, what he saw happen with me, it deterred him from his belief in God.
Wow.
It really did. Because at the time we started, I actually had him going to church with me. He wanted to get more involved with the ministry and all that stuff. When he got back from from Kuwait, and I mean, he was wanting to go hard. Hey, when we come back, we got to join the church and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, yes, I got him. And then when it happened, it was like, what I need to go to church for? Like, are you serious? And even though when we tried, we started going to church again, and at the back of his mind, it was like, oh, Christians are saying, y'all ain't no better. And it hurt me because I was like, that was my witness. I killed that witness, his own wife, like the person. He was like, he even told me recently when we had to talk, he was like, I was so mad at you because you were like my angel. He said, you were my angel. He was like, and I felt like I got this woman, he said, that I don't deserve. He felt like he didn't deserve me because I was this goody two-shoes girl.
Wow.
And he grew up in the hood, DC, and in Baltimore and all this stuff. And then he went military. It's like, and here it is. She loves me, and then she does what she do. Like, I didn't deserve her, and she does this to me, like. And it devastated. And I think that's the part that devastated him, was like, okay. And then, so it was just a lot. And then on top of that, it was so much. So that part, I had to really, going back to the forgiveness, I really had to dig deep, not only just to forgive myself for that, but I was like apologizing to even God, like, God, I screwed up bad. Like, I messed him up from even maybe wanting to deal with Christianity, or wanting not say Christianity, but have a relationship with you. Yeah. Like, I became a stumbling block to somebody. Like, if he doesn't accept it, this thing is going to be on my hands. That's how I took it. I was so devastated with that, especially when he said, yeah, you were my angel. You were like my angel. Like, everything about Christianity, I wanted to serve Christ because of you, because I saw how you were living. But when you did that, it was like, oh, wow.
Right.
All Christians are the same. They ain't no better.
When you get cheated on, it just feels like everything was a lie, right?
Yes.
You get cheated on, even though everything wasn't a lie. I want people to understand that too, right? People in the beginning, people love you. People love you along the journey. and something happens. People make mistakes, right? We both made a terrible mistake, bad decision a long, long time ago. We made a really terrible decision. But everything before that was real. I really loved my husband. I really loved my family. I really loved what we had. So once you get cheated on, it feels like, so if you did that, everything was a lie. No, it wasn't. The person that, if you are fighting for your marriage right now because infidelity has occurred, everything before what happened, everything wasn't a lie. There probably were some lies along the way, but the whole relationship was not a lie. And in order to move forward, if you plan on staying, right? And I teach this in my course. I have a course called the Recovery Room. And the first module is accepting the fact that it's over, right? So I teach it from two standpoints. The first standpoint is if you decide to stay with your husband, you cannot blame him for the rest of his life. You have to, and if he says, I want to make this marriage work, you have to go get the help that you need through therapy, marriage counseling, coaching, whatever works for you guys, right? You have to set a certain amount of time that we are going to talk about this because we need to talk about where the breakdown came in. But after those 6 months, we're going to have a clean slate. Because if we don't, we're going to torture ourselves and ruin this marriage, right? And if you cannot forgive within that time frame, you have to be selfless and let that person go, because you do not have the right to torture a person because they made a mistake, right? And then the other part of that is if you decide to leave the person, you have to accept the fact that that is over so you can move forward in your life. You have to accept the fact that the relationship is over. Everything wasn't a lie. Decide what it is that you want for yourself, because acceptance is the final step to grief. And a breakup is the death of a relationship. And so many people get stuck in a phase of grief, right? And they never get to acceptance. And that is the final stage. So if you decide to stay in a relationship, you have to accept the fact that the affair is over. If you decide to leave the relationship, you have to accept the fact that the relationship is over in order for you to be healed, whole, healthy, and to love again.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. We got some more in comments. Raymond said, no one is perfect, and putting people on pedestals borderlines with idolatry. That's never healthy. Good. Yeah. That's exactly it. And I found myself even doing that with people. And so when it happened, it devastated me. It was like, because you put people up here, and then it's like when something happened, it's like, you wasn't supposed to do that. What in the world? But you got to remember, they're still human too. They're still human too. And that's why God don't put no God before me, because nobody is perfect.
Nope.
Nobody is me. So
Nope.
why are you putting people up there? I made them just like I made you.
Right.
So
right.
why are you putting people up here when I'm the only one who's supposed to be up here?
Yeah.
I'm the only one who's supposed to be. So while you're putting them up here and saying, oh, they'll never do this, they won't do that. Oh, they're so wonderful, they're so perfect. And then once they do something, you're devastated. That's on you.
Right.
You put them up there. I didn't tell you to put them up there.
No.
Not one bit. I said put your trust in me.
Yeah.
I never said put your trust in a man. I never said put your trust in a woman. I said put your trust in me, and then go from there.
Yes.
Okay? Because if you put your trust in God, then you're thinking about, okay, God, I'm trusting that this will work. I'm trusting that you will work everything out. I'm trusting that you will guide my path to the right person. I'm trusting that, if things go sour, you'll fix it. All those things are putting your trust in God. So I thank you, Raymond, for that as well. So, hey, Tanisha, so true. Thank you. But that's my girl as well. But I wanted to bring something else up real quick because, and then I'm going to try to tie it up because I do want to get some questions if anybody have any, because I definitely recommend, if you have gone through something in your marriage, to please contact Trey. I'm in a different route, so I'm not, even though I have experienced that, but that is not my ministry. So I'm not going to, if you want to talk to me, that's fine. But I'm going to point to the woman where, I'm not, that's, oh yeah, come to me. No, go to Trey. That is her ministry. Mine is in something different. And that's not the topic at hand. So I'm going to point you to her. All right. But there was a moment where, and I'm not a type person to put somebody on blast like that, but there was a moment where an incident happened with me again. And it was in between marriages, and it was a gentleman who, I liked, and at the time he was in between, liking me and the person he was with. It was like, I'm torn. I don't know. You're that girl. You're that wonderful person I think I should be with. And then the other one, but I've been with her for so long, blah, blah, blah. And I fell for that. I said, am I going down this road again? And then I thought to myself, well, no, because we're not doing anything. We're just having, we talk every night. Y'all, I hope y'all following me now.
Yes.
We talk every night. We hang out all the time. So we're not doing anything. But can I tell you, when he went the other route and he said, well, I'm going to go ahead this route and marry her, it broke me. Because we also have to realize those late night talks, those hanging outs, even though there's nothing physical going on, that too is a connection happening.
Building a relationship.
Yes, we were definitely building. So
you was building.
When he went the other way, I was hurt. I was like, oh gosh, here I go again. I'm being tossed to the side. What is going on here? And to this day, I've never said anything to the other female, let her know, when you was at work, he was talking to me. And I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get him on my side. I'm gonna mess this up. Hey, he been talking to me at night. He want to marry you, but he really want to be with me. And I didn't do all that. I just let it slide. But it hurt me at the same time because I'm like, well, what was wrong with me? I started questioning myself. Like, what was wrong with me? He chose her over me. Then I thought about like, no, he made his choice. But at the same time, I'm glad it happened that way because guess what? Let me tell you something. I found out down the line an incident happened and he ended up cheating on her. And I sat there and I said, wow, what if tables it went the other way and I would have been that person if, it went the other way and I would have found myself because of the relationship we were building. And that communication piece was becoming so strong that I would have fell again.
For the women listening, if it's a you, it's more yous, right? It ain't just you that he talking to. Because a man that's dedicated ain't talking to nobody. So if it's a you, it's two more yous. You might be the number one side chick, number two, or the number three. But if it's a you, there's more yous. So you dodged the bullet because he was cheating before he got married. Mm-hmm. He was having an emotional affair with you, but I'm sure he was sleeping with somebody else.
Mm-hmm. And I think with me, it's because I wasn't giving him the physical. I was giving him the emotional part of it. So, and I think that's what. So it comes in all different ways. And I honestly think, and I know people don't want to hear it, I think social media has made it a lot more easier. A whole lot easier. Because I can only tell you the stuff that be sometimes in my inbox. And I'm like, you married. Stop. Just stop. And it's not and I'm gonna say it. It's the church. It's just church folk. It's church folk.
That's why I always say, if you can't say it to me on my wall, don't say it to me at all.
Oh, you rapping now, Trey? You got boards.
But another thing is, this is why I say to women, we have to honor, guard, and respect each other's relationships in order to end the infidelity epidemic, because it's not them anymore, it's us. If a man come in my inbox and I know he got a wife, girlfriend, or fiance, it should be in me, the content of my character, my morals and values to kick in, where I say, if you don't go somewhere over there and kick rocks, don't call me with that. You got a girl. Until we start doing that for each other, we're going to continue to be our own problem. We are woman on woman crime. We are killing each other. We are killing our families. And if we don't stop the madness, it's never going to stop. And women always get mad. You don't hold men accountable. I do hold men accountable, right? You are responsible for what you do as a man and cheating on your woman. However, we've been talking about this for 52 million years, and it ain't getting no better for us, right? The man move on with a new girl, got a new set of kids. What we stuck being single mothers, bitter single mothers, and nobody don't want us. We got stretch marks. We done gave him the best years of our life, only to meet another man to come into our life, for us to think that it's going to last for us, to have a child with him, for another woman to sleep with our man, only to repeat the cycle, for him to leave us, to go with another woman, have another family, decide that he want to do the right thing. But how many of us are single mothers that are left with 2, 3, or 4 different baby fathers because we thought he was the one, but we got some chick in his inbox that didn't say, I see you. And you said the thing about social media is, I'm with him. You trifling, and I can say this because I used to be you. You trifling heifer, right? I'm not judging you. I used to be you.
Yeah.
You see me on social media with him. You see we together, and you still have the nerve to entertain him and say it's not your problem. It's not your problem, but it says a lot about the woman that you are and the woman that you are going to be. And one thing I've learned in my life, my words and my actions are like a boomerang. Whatever I do, whatever I say is coming back to find me. So ladies, whoever listening, hashtag no side chicken, because what you do to that next sister is coming back to find you. And it ain't karma. It ain't karma. Pull out your Bible, okay? Because we talk karma. We ain't talking karma. We talking about biblical. You reap what you sow. The word of God never changes. It ain't going to change for none of us. That karma might change, or that saying or whatever, but you reap what you sow. The Bible says it plain and simple. The seed that you plant is the fruit that you're going to bear. And you can tell a thing by the fruit that it bears. So sister, if you sleeping with somebody's husband, it ain't going to be good for you. Somebody's wife, girlfriend, you think you stole him. If you stole a man, you certainly should not want him. Because if he want to marry you knowing that you sleep with other people's men, both of y'all got a problem. Because I don't want you. I don't want you if you got a wife, girlfriend, fiance. If you even entertaining somebody, if it got to be a choice between me and somebody else, please, Lord, pick her. Because I don't want to be nobody option, nobody choice. I don't want to be nobody constellation prize. If you got a choice between me and another woman, do me a favor, bro, pick her. Because I don't know. If I know, I'm going to tell you already, get out of here. But if I don't know, when you're trying to make a decision between me and old girl, do me a favor, pick her.
I love that you said, I love that you said that, because I'm seeing so many more women just, it's a shortage of men. I hear that all the time. It's a shortage of men. No, I think it's just that we see somebody and how they're portraying themselves, and we're all like, a lot of people going after the same one. Like somebody posts something and it's like, oh, and all of a sudden you see all these women, and it's almost like, y'all thirsty?
Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah.
Really? Y'all that thirsty? And I find myself, and I'm a woman too. I look, trust me, I will look like, ooh, okay. Look at him. But I'm not gonna sit there and start typing a whole paragraph when I see 18 other women saying stuff to the same man, and just like, calm down.
Right. And if you're Christian women, when Christian women say it's a shortage of good black men, God ain't never had a shortage of nothing. He said that I come that you will have life and life to the full. I have a good and perfect plan for your life. I come that you will live life abundantly. The devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. I come that you will have an abundant life. Abundant means I have all things. What is my Father's belongs to me. So you tell me it's a shortage of anything. You ain't no Christian. Something wrong with you. If you have a lack mentality about anything, that is a man, that is men, that is finances, that is health. If you have a lack mentality about anything, you don't believe, you are not the Father's child, because that is a lie from the pit of hell. The devil is the author of confusion, not Jesus the Christ. Christ said that you will live an abundant life if you follow me and you believe, right? Like you said, we manifest things, right? If you think you broke, if you think it ain't enough men, well, over there by where you are, it ain't. But over here, plenty of good men. I see them all the time. Ain't one of them ain't picked me yet.
Thank you. I have male friends. I'm like, y'all must know where they at, because some of them are friends of mine. I have some really solid male friends. I mean, single and doing their thing. And I'm like, where are y'all saying this? And I was actually telling one of my male friends, I was like, it saddens me sometimes when I see stuff like that, because I'm like, I'm not that type of, I think because, Trey, be honest with you, I think I'm not that way. And I'm putting myself on the line right now. I think I'm not that type of female because, one, maybe because I've been married twice. I've been through the whole, I've been a wife, I'm a mom, and all this stuff. So I'm not out there, hey, see me, or hey, and typing all on everybody's posts and clicking the love thing and all this stuff. I think it's because it's like, if I never get married again, I've been down that road before. If I never be a mom again, I'm very happy with being a mom. So I'm not that I'm not saying the average, but some of the females, I'm not like that. I'm not attending every relationship
offer.
no, even all the workshops and all the, I'm not attending all that because I'm like, I've been down and I've been there twice. Not to toot myself out. That it's almost embarrassing for me to say. Nobody wants to say I've been married twice. That's not something to toot your horn about. Hey, guess what? I've been married twice. No, that's not something I want to say. But at the same time, it's like I'm at a place where I don't feel like the need to be throwing myself out like that because oh my goodness, I gotta hurry up and try to get this person because it's a shortage of men. I'm like, I'm good. Like
because when you get to a certain time in your life, and this has nothing to do with age, when you get to a certain level of maturity and you worked on yourself and you've seen some things, I don't do all of that. I'm not thirsty in all of that because so many women are in pick me mode. I pick me. I don't need no dude to pick me because I pick me. Anything that I need, I could get it for myself. I want a husband because I want a husband, not because I need one. I don't want him to pick me from the thirstiest parts of me because I need something. Because every day I pick me. I pick me to be whole. I pick me to be healed. I pick me to be happy. I pick me to be at peace. So when that right person comes along who's in that same frame of mind, he who finds a wife, okay? I'm a wife, okay, already. All right, I've been married once too, but I'm somebody's wife. But when he finds me, I want to be whole when he comes. I don't need him to pick me in pieces. I don't need him to pick me out of a crowd of a bunch of thirsty women on a Facebook news feed or Instagram chat. I need you to lock eyes with me and see me one day and know that I'm your wife. I am your queen. I will respect you, love you, and be loyal to you and faithful to you, not because of you, but because the whole man that I am and that I love myself and I love God. I need a man in my life that's not on some news feed that's thirsty and want chicks on his news feed. I need a man that has picked himself and he loves himself. That's the husband that I desire, and I could wait. I don't need to be in competition with no chicks on Facebook. Y'all, if you're in competition on Facebook, you ain't even on my level. I ain't trying. I'm liking his post because he got a new job or whatever. I'm not liking his post because I need him to come in my DM. Like I tell men all the time, I'm not on Facebook to date. Facebook is not a dating site for me. Okay. If I wanted to meet somebody, I would go to match.com or one of those things. Okay. So if you have something to say to me, say it on my wall. Don't be in my inbox. And I'm not mad at a guy that might shoot his shot. But you would have a better chance with me if you found a more strategic way to get in contact with me than in a Facebook DM. I'm not that chick. I'm a 52-year-old grown behind woman that's been through some things, did some work on myself. I'm whole and I'm healed, and I'm not on Facebook for that. So we got to know who we are, and we got to pick ourselves in order for us not to feel like I'm in this pick me mode that I just want somebody to pick me. Because at that point, you'll go with anybody. A thirsty person will drink from a poison cup.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh yeah. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Trey. Okay. All right. I told y'all this is gonna be a very transparent talk. We was not gonna hold back, and she has definitely brought it tonight. As we wrap up, anybody, if you have anything else to say in chat, I want to read it and post it. I appreciate each and every one of you. I know some people got off, but the people who have got on, those of you who are tuning in after this, hello to you, even though you're not live. Please put something in and we will get back to you. I will edit this post and put her information. Follow her. Trey, tell them how they can follow you.
Oh, you can follow me all things at Trey Kearney, TrayKearney. My website is www.traykearney.com. My Instagram is at Trey Kearney. Oh, my YouTube channel is New You Nation Network, but everything else is Trey Kearney. If you Google me, I'll pop up. So I'm not like these other kids, these young folks out here with Sugar Baby Mama 33. It's my name. It's my real name. Trey Kearney.
Well, I have her website, and I'm gonna get the rest of the stuff. I didn't type that fast, but I am gonna put the rest of the stuff up. But again, if you're dealing with any type of infidelity, anything going on in your relationship, please contact her. As you can see, you're gonna get the real deal. You're not gonna get a sugar-coated version of what is happening. If you need somebody just to talk to, if you are experiencing what we just talked about, and you don't even know how to open up about it, or you still feel guilty. If you're the person on the end that cheated and you feel guilty about it, come to her. I'm telling you, it's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. From someone who has gone through the whole adultery situation, it's not going to happen. No, it's going to look ugly sometimes. Okay. It's going to be some tears shed. It's going to be might be some yelling going on. Okay. But forgiveness can happen. Okay. Healing can happen. Yeah. And as you can see, I wish he wasn't asleep right now. My ex, we are actually pretty cool right now. Yeah. We're not getting married again, but we are cool. If something go down, he know. I mean, just not too long ago, those who know my health issues, he actually took me to the hospital one time, because he's just that type of person. But again, forgiveness, healing. On the road to wholeness. I'm going back to that too. Shadana, I gotta say something about. Well, my cousin want to say something. I gotta bring you on too, Shadana. My cousin, can I say something, Trey? When I talk about my family, one of the things in our family is divorce. Heavy. Shadana can say that. Almost all of us have been at least divorced once or twice. That is a stronghold in our family. But Shadana, we know we breaking that right now. And in Jesus' name, our kids are breaking that. She said, yes. I've been divorced twice. I bent, but I didn't break, and my mess has become my ministry. I'm looking forward for my third because I'm healed. Left my baggage at the altar, asked God to place me in the view of the man to find me and teach me to be the good thing I'm to be for him, because my good thing isn't for every man. Come on, cuz. Being evenly yoked with him. Amen. I got to bring you on too, because I should have had you on here with us. She definitely has a story as well.
Yes.
Definitely. And James, let me put his thing up too. I thank the Lord for this platform. And we thank you too, James, for tuning in. I love when I'm loving that the men came on. Actually, one of my friends, he was on as well. And another friend, he contacted me. He said he wasn't able to type here. He didn't know how to type, but he says about time the women speak up about this, about time. But thank you as well.
Wives that have been cheated on.
Huh?
Can I say something to wives that have been cheated on? First, I want to just say to the wives, I apologize for the pain that you suffered. If nobody told you that they apologize and they're sorry, but I want you to just understand that when women, and I'm speaking from the point of being a mistress, the point of being a side chick and sleeping with somebody's husband, my intention was never to hurt his wife. I wasn't thinking about her.
Woo!
I was only thinking about fulfilling my own needs. It was never about her. It was never about hurting another woman. It was never about devastating people. It was about me filling a void and me getting what I wanted and not knowing any better. So I just want wives to stop asking themselves, what did I do? What happened? And you are never accountable for a man sticking his penis in another woman. You are accountable for the breakdown in your relationship if you decide to stay or to do the work. You are accountable for that because affairs happen way before the bedroom. Affairs start to happen because there's a breakdown in a relationship. And to go forward and be better, you do want to figure out what your part of the breakdown in that relationship was. But for him to go outside of your marriage is never your fault. For him to stick his penis in another woman is never your fault. So don't ever take that on. And the one thing I just need you to understand is truth plus transparency equals healing. Go talk to somebody. Speak your truth. Be transparent. Love on yourself. Don't try to figure out why he did it. Try to figure out how I can heal and what's next for me. And again, forgive and forget and continue to love yourself. Don't blame yourself. Blame causes guilt. Accountability causes growth. Blame causes guilt. Accountability causes growth. So just go and find and own your stuff and be accountable for your breakdown in a relationship, and you'll grow. But don't ever blame yourself for what another human being did. And don't ever think that a mistress, a side chick, a break chick, a thought, whatever they calling us now, did this on purpose to you. She did this because she's immature, insecure, and 9 times out of 10, somebody hurt her. And hurt people. But we turning that around. We no longer accept that. We are on heal people. So we're going to spread the word, and we're going to pray for folks, and we're going to go take that hashtag no side chick and pledge on my website. And as women, we will honor, guard, and respect each other's relationships in hopes of ending the infidelity epidemic.
I love it. And I love you, Trey, my new sister. Like I said, you want to look like, I'm telling you, I see more things happening with her and I. This is just the beginning, because again, if you all have been following me since November, we've been doing some things in regards to the road to wholeness. And this is definitely leading to the road to wholeness. There are so many people who are hurting that are not speaking up about this. Again, we always point the man. No. Women as well. We need to shed a light on what we as women are doing as also. So again, you all, we are past the hour, but thank you for still staying with us. I appreciate each and every one of you. Those of you who's put something in chat. I hope I didn't miss anybody, but if I did, please apologize. I apologize. I apologize. And be on the lookout for tomorrow. I will have Timothy Finley, who is running for mayor in Louisville, Kentucky. He will be sharing some things with us. Again, I'm just trying to put more people on, and I just want a transparent platform so people can share, because so many people are hurting. We're not speaking up about some things. So I feel that if people like Trey can come on and just who are not afraid to share their story, and also not just share their story, but impart some wisdom and and some encouragement to you all. I think that'll help a lot of people, not just point the finger, but also say, and I'm not pointing the finger. I'm just saying this is what I did, and this is the way to help you to be where I am. Okay. So I love you, my sister, and I appreciate you sharing this time with me and your transparency. And I'm sure a lot of people were blessed. Again, His Favor Ministries, and we have Trey Kearney with me tonight. You all have a blessed evening.